Hi, I'm Fred Taub, author of the book Boycotting Peace, with another in our series of the top lies of the Boycott Divestment Sanctions campaign against Israel. Today, we're going to focus on lie number 3, that the divestment campaign, which is part of the Arab boycott of Israel, is legal and supported by Congress. Well, got some bad news for you. You see, in 1977, a law was signed, the Import-Export Act Amendments of 1977, which state no U.S. persons, and that's not just U.S. citizens, but anybody in the United States, may participate in a foreign sanctioned boycott against nations friendly to the United States. Well, that means you can't boycott Israel because it's a friendly nation to the United States. Foreign sanctions, well, happens to be that boycott is part of the Arab boycott of Israel by the Arab League, and the Palestinian Authority, which runs this campaign, is signatory to the Arab boycott. They're part of the Arab League. Guess what? Illegal foreign boycott. And in fact, Congress, they see that and they know about it. Because in the hearings before Congress to pass the law, the actual Arab boycott documents were submitted. Yes, the Arab boycott record is part of the congressional record. Yes, it was submitted for Congress. The fact is that you can't participate in a foreign boycott. It's going to harm somebody else. Why? Because Congress says we don't want individuals from creating de facto foreign policy. And that's what boycotting is. It's saying, hey, who are we going to do business with? So, my suggestion is don't get engaged in this campaign because, you don't want to do anything illegal. But just so you know, if you do get involved in that, just be aware that you're also going to have to fill out IRS Form 5713, the International Boycott Report, which, by the way, if you'll hear right at the top, the first box, individual. Yep, it's not just for corporations. Anybody who engages in this has to fill out this form. It's the law. And, well, it's a complicated form. I mean, it really is, unfortunately, but, it's a lot of pages. But this is page 1, of course. I'm going to skip to page 3, just for argument, because this is where you need to know what you're dealing with. See, question 11, kind of small here, but I blew it up here. Let me show you here. Says, were you requested to participate or cooperate with an international boycott? Well, if you're asked to get involved with the Arab boycott of Israel through the divestment campaign, you got to check yes on this form. And this actually is a requirement. If you are requested to boycott Israel, you must report that you were requested to do that according to the documentation and the law from the Department of Commerce, which, regulate the law. It's part of the Office of Anti-Boycott Compliance under the Bureau of Industry and Security of the Department of Commerce. Yes, they don't mess around. Trust me. These guys are the ones who enforce import-export laws, and people do get fined. But, it gets worse, because if you are participating in the boycott, guess what? Question 12. Did you participate in cooperation with an international boycott? If you check yes, which you have to if you are engaging in the divestment campaign, you are also admitting to violating the Department of Commerce rules and regulations and the law saying you cannot boycott a foreign country. And by doing this, you also have to fill out schedules A, B, and C that go with this, a lot of paperwork. My suggestion is, I like to avoid as much IRS paperwork as possible. So you may want to avoid getting involved in this boycott campaign. Well, if you do, I suggest you work with a tax attorney and a CPA who is very familiar with this form, because you don't want to mess around with this. And for that matter, you're going to have to probably go back a couple of years and fill out the form correction for your tax filings, because if you miss this, you might get in trouble with the IRS. You don't want to do that. Well, that's an important fact to know. The Arab boycott of Israel is illegal. It is not sanctioned by Congress. And I discussed that in my book, Boycotting Peace. I hate to tell you, you don't want to get involved in this campaign. Please do not boycott peace. Be a partner for peace. My book explains what's really happening. I am Fred Taub. Thank you.